Hi, this is Trey Passer. Welcome to my review of Pet Sematary with spoilers. Okay, I want to talk about this movie, and I'm gonna have to talk about spoilers because I want to talk about certain things, so kind of have to spoil it. This is, of course, a remake from the movie that came out 30 years ago, and of course, based on the Stephen King novel Pet Sematary. It's about this family, young family that moves to rural Maine. The father's a doctor, his wife's a stay-home mom, and they have two young daughters, a preteen daughter and a younger kid, Ellie and Gage, respectively. And they moved to rural Maine so he can actually spend more time, so he can have this local practice. He can spend more time with his family. Okay, so but of course, like you see in the trailers, you see that they're basically living next to this uh, major highway or rural road. Okay, that's up. That's really close to their house. But also they have a neighbor named Judd, played by John Lithgow, who basically welcomes them. They become friends with him, and he tells them about the pet cemetery. How when he was a kid, he had a pet dog that died that he loved. That his father buried there, and it came back, and of course it wasn't the same, and he had to put it down. And then later we find out that the beloved cat of the daughter gets basically run over. We don't see that, but we see the results of the cat being run over, and the father takes it up there and buries it up there because he knows that his daughter was absolutely devastated that she thinks that the cat ran away, but he gets buried and comes back. But of course, the cat is not the same. Okay, the cat even scratches her, scratches him, the father. Okay, and he basically takes it. He takes it out and basically drives out and leaves it way out in the woods. Okay, next to a dangerous testing area. Okay, and then he goes back and they celebrate and have the daughters having a birthday party. Okay, when actually the cat actually shows back up, and the daughter gets distracted and she goes to it. And I kind of like the way they played this part of it out, where the daughter, she's basically near the side of the road, and actually she is on the road with the cat. She's hugging it and welcoming it back. And at the same time, you see the young kid Gage. He sees this and he kind of runs towards towards the highway to see the cat as well. And then you see a semi barreling down the road, and of course the guy's on his phone at the same time. And then of course the father notices that that the son is running towards the highway, so he runs and grabs him. And when the guy driving the semi swerves, the semi, he gets the son out of the way, but the semi swerves and it dislodges, and then the cab of it pushes forward and basically wipes his daughter out and kills her. And of course, you know what the rest of the story is. He buries, in his grief, he buries his daughter when they bury the daughter, and then when his wife and young son go away to visit her parents, one night, drunken night, he decides to dig it up, even though he gets warned by Judd not to do it. He does it anyway. Okay, and then his daughter shows up, and of course she's not the same. Now, this movie, like I said, I didn't think they needed to remake this movie because the other one I thought was creepy enough. The only kind of negative thing I hated about the original one was, I think, the little kid Gage. They made him. He looked like almost like a Chucky doll in a way. Okay, because you got this little kid running around, and maybe I was just too jaded by the Chucky movies. See, I don't even know if the Chucky movies were out back then. I'm trying to think, how long ago was that? 15, maybe they were. But anyway, the little kid didn't strike the proper menace to me that he should have. But this resurrected kid, the kid looked too cute, looked like a toy to me. And I think they made a better choice by having it be the older daughter, because the actress, she's an actor, and you can do more with her. She can say more lines and stuff. But again, they had this subplot with the mother that she was, having these, nightmares every once in a while about her sister, when her sister was sickly and she was young, and she was like afraid of her sister because her sister had this spinal injury thing, and she was bedridden and she couldn't really do anything for herself. And the mother and father made her basically take care of her one night, and instead of actually going up to her room, she sent her she sent the food up through the dumbwaiter, and the sister, I guess, tried to get to the food, and she fell down the dumbwaiter, and she was stuck in there. So that, you know, of course, the mother has, is having nightmares about that and feels extremely guilty about that. So, but overall, this movie was okay. It's just, like I said, it wasn't, the scares were predictable, like I said, and basically going in because you know what's going to happen in this movie. Although what happens in this movie, I don't think happened in the original, because I think in the original one, the original Pet Sematary, I think Gage gets killed, because I thought that funny. Let's see, I think he gets stabbed in the neck or something, I think, right? And he falls down and he kills over. Okay, but in this one, and I think the mother gets killed, right? I think, if I remember it right, people can correct me about this, but I think the mother gets killed too, and I think the father's the only one that's still alive at the end. But and I think the father, right? Because I think Gage winds up killing his mother, and I think the father, if I'm remembering this right, and maybe you can correct me down in the comments, but I think the father buries the mother, right, in the Pet Cemetery, and then she comes back at the end. I think that's how it goes on, right? She comes back at the end, because I think Denise Crosby was the mother too, and Dale Midkiff was the father. But I think that's how it happens. The father, Gage in the original, Gage kills the mother. The father kills Gage, and the father buries the mother in Pet Sematary, and she comes back at the end, and I think he winds up kissing from the dead mother, from the dead wife, and I think then she stabs him. I think, and then it goes up. I think that's the way it goes. People correct me if I'm wrong, but in this version of it, what happens is the mother comes home, the mother and the son come home, and that's when the father introduces the resurrected daughter to her. And of course, she's absolutely terrified and horrified that you dug up our dead daughter, and she basically runs away from her, and she grabs the kid and runs away. And instead of getting in the car and running and getting the hell out of there, she basically runs up to her room, which makes no sense. If your kid comes back to life, I'd grab the other kid, got back in the car, and took off, and let my sicko husband, who dug up my dead daughter and buried her, and now she's a zombie, basically, a walking zombie. Let him deal with it, okay? That's the only thing I thought was silly, that she didn't just grab the kid and get in the car and get the hell out of there and go, screw that. I'm not having this. You dug up our dead daughter, okay? That's not normal, okay? That part in this movie just never made sense. But in this version of it, okay, so the daughter winds up killing the mom, and and she even, and I thought the young actress was really good, and she stabs her, and you even see her stabbing her again, and she's saying that she's basically telling her mother, you felt guilty, you hated your sister, and you wanted her to die, and she's basically doing this as she's jigging him, she's stabbing her mother to death, and literally, while the father's checking on the neighbor that she already killed, okay, and then he comes back, his wife is, the daughter drags the mother to the Pet Cemetery, and buries her, and then the father's fighting with the daughter, and just when you think he's about to kill her, he gets killed by the resurrected mother, and then they drag him back to the Pet Cemetery, and then you see at the end, you see young Gage, who he puts in the car. The father puts in the car and locks it and tells him don't open it no matter what. You see the resurrected family, basically the walking zombie family walking towards the car, and then it goes off. And I remember the girl next to me said, "That's it," and I was right. They said, "Yeah, that's it." Basically, yeah, you got the resurrected zombie family, and the kid I guess we assume the kid they're gonna open up the door and kill the kid so he can come back and be a zombie too, and then you have a whole new zombie family. So I think that was kind of corny. I think it should have been a definite end, like even if what would have been a better ending. Okay, father killed the daughter. Okay, the mother comes back, and then the father killed his wife, his resurrected wife, and then he winds up killing himself. I think that would have probably been a better movie rather than just basically you get this resurrected zombie family still alive at the end. I think, yeah, I think that's kind of a crappy ending, okay? And with the little kid in the car, locked in the car, with his zombie family approaching the car, I think that was kind of weak sauce in my opinion. I think it should have been the father should have paid what he is literally paying for it in this version because he's becoming a zombie. But and even though the only one good thing I liked was that they had there was a kid that young kid that he couldn't save, the doctor couldn't save, who basically kept warning him, don't do this, cross the line, by digging up your daughter. Tried to warn him, but he ignored it, went right past it. So he reaped what he sowed, I guess. So I guess in that case, he screwed his whole family, okay, by digging up his daughter, okay, and the wife wanted to leave, and he should have left, but of course he didn't, okay, and so now you get. But like I said, this remake wasn't necessary, okay, just the scares were predictable. I mean, you know what was going to happen. The neighbor was going to get killed by her. You saw that in the trailer. So, and you know that either that she was going to die. I guess they figured a new twist by having them all survive at the end, and be basically a zombie nuclear family. And also, young Gage. So I guess they thought that was a nice twist on it. But again, it should have ended with him killing his daughter again, having to kill his daughter. That should have been his penalty. They have to kill his daughter again, okay, and then have to kill his resurrected wife again. Not again, but kill his resurrected wife, and then let him kill himself, okay, because he caused all of this by digging up his daughter, okay. So that would have been justice. But yeah, it got a crappy ending with the family, the zombie family, all except the young kid. But like I said, it's fairly predictable and stuff. But again, I thought the actors did a decent job. Jason Clarke is the father, Amy Seimetz is the mother, Rachel. I thought she was really good. The look she was having, she had the right reaction. But I still think she should have grabbed her one son and got in the car and got out as soon as he found out the husband dug up the daughter, and she was your dead daughter. Why stay there? What's the point of sticking around? He dug up your dead daughter. Your daughter's a walking zombie. I'd have grabbed that one kid and I'd have jumped in the car and took off, okay, and let him stay there with the zombie kid, okay. That's just me. But like I said, fairly predictable. There's a few twists and turns, but nothing spectacular. I'm gonna give Pet Sematary. I'm gonna give it a 6.8. And again, and that's mostly because I think the actors do a decent job, even though, like I said, it's fairly predictable, the scares and all that stuff. And they put a few twists and turns in there, with the family and stuff, and the way they die, and then who dies, which kid gets resurrected and stuff. But it's fairly predictable, okay? Not fairly predictable, it's predictable, pretty much. Except, like I said, they threw those twists at the end. But nothing spectacular. Again, 6.8 for me. Nothing spectacular. Okay, but anyway, the only good thing, like I said, they did was make the daughter be the one to get killed, because this worked better to me. Than I always found that to be the weakest part of that original one, was having the little kid Gage be the one, and him looking like a toy looking like child's play, like a Chucky doll. Especially when he got stabbed, he stumbled down the hallway and then just keeled over. I always thought that looked weird and not scary, but it's just me. Anyway, let me know what you think of Pet Sematary, the remake. What do you think of it? Feel free to leave comments down below. Let me know what you think. If you think this one is scarier than the original, I think the original had more genuine scares. Except the only part I didn't like about the original was, the kid when they showed the kid, stumble and all that stuff. I thought that looked too toy-like. But I think this version was better with the making the older kid the victim, okay, or the resurrected kid. Anyway, let me know what you think. So links to my social media in the description box: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I also have a link to my other channel, Paul's Views and Opinions. Please check that out as well. And this is Trey Pastor saying so long and take care.